How are we doing, babe, on the sound? You want to check us?
We got
1, 2, 8,
I don't know.
14.
You guys happy with it?
I'm good.
Check
it out.
We got Aves on the ones and twos.
Can everyone hear everyone?
It's worked so far.
I'm on the 5s and 7s.
Hey, so I was watching Future Man lately, and you know who's in that is Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
And I had not seen him since he was a little tyke in, I don't know, like The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I've ever seen him in.
What else is he in?
Katie, have you ever seen The Sixth Sense?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Oh, he was an AI, you know.
Actually, you know what? I've never seen The Sixth Sense.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Katie,
you've never seen The
should
Sixth
I have-
Sense?
I never.
I mean, I
have.
feel like everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
Wait, you really never
No?
seen The Sixth
I
Sense?
really have never
What
seen
the
it.
hell?
That's weird.
Oh,
I think-
That's just
well,
kind of weird.
We gotta go watch
do
it
you
right
wanna
now.
go
That's
watch
intervention
it?
work.
Yeah.
We gotta
Let's
do it.
watch it.
Intervention.
All right.
Intervention.
This is how we do this.
This is how we do it.
We might ask you questions from the Peanut Gallery book. Hey, it's Willa,
And it's Charlie.
And Paul.
And Abraham.
and this week we have our special guest, Katie. Katie's here.
Returning guest.
Hi guys.
You might
Welcome
remember
back.
her
Thanks
from
for coming back.
From
episodes
Candy
like
Shack.
Katie
I think
Shack.
our second
Yeah.
episode.
Episode 2, I believe.
Oh.
This is about the time of year last year that we were starting the podcast. So
Yeah.
When is the anniversary?
I think we already passed it.
Oh.
Well, our,
Broadcast anniversary?
No.
we started
Recording.
airing in May last
okay.
year.
We got to do an anniversary show or something.
Okay, we'll have to have everyone that's been on the show with us.
all at once.
All at
That would
once.
be really fun.
That would be really chaotic.
Just gonna rebroadcast every single episode at once,
Exactly.
If you hear any
Yeah,
tippy
just play them all at
tapping,
once, kind of like.
Oh, sorry.
like
Yeah.
a Meshuggah album.
Yeah.
We got Gracie the dog here too.
yeah.
Don't mind her. She's
If
a
you hear
little
the tippy
anti-pants.
tapping,
And
that's
there-
Gracie the dog.
And Larry is
Just
sleeping as
explore it.
usual.
So Katie,
Welcome back.
Hi,
welcome.
guys.
Hi.
Happy
So
to be here.
we just watched The Sixth Sense. I don't even know where to start. How? I mean, what? I mean, you must have known some things going into this movie. I feel like this
That's a-
movie
yeah,
has been
that's a
like
big question we gotta
notoriously
address.
spoiled for
Right.
everyone
Yeah.
for all time.
Did
so,
you know the twist?
I did.
Okay.
I have to say I
Oh.
did.
So
We
tell
figured.
us more about that.
Were you thinking about it the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's when you know it's so clear from the beginning, I feel like.
Yeah.
And even if I didn't know, I feel like even if I didn't know the end, it would still be really clear to me, but maybe not. Maybe not.
I know it's hard to say because I was thinking the whole time like it's really hard to watch this movie
Knowing.
again, knowing
Yeah.
you just the whole time are looking for clues or looking.
It's telegraphed.
I don't know. It's really
Yeah.
hard to watch.
The isolation of his character, like the silence between him and his wife. I mean, it only
very
it
telling,
only means
yeah.
one thing when you know the ending, but I
Luckily,
think it's effective.
not all about that.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well,
yeah.
let's. Did the rest of you guys see this movie unaware of the twist?
I did. I
or-
actually saw it in the movie theater. And I
Yeah?
loved it. I absolutely loved it.
And were you shocked? Were
I
you
was
like, fuck?
extremely shocked the first time I saw it. And actually, I just
Well,
thought
that
we
makes
were...
me really happy.
I thought we were going in to see a scary because I love scaries, as everyone knows, and I that twist happened, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" And I think
Yeah.
I was still in high school. I think I was like 17. What year did this come out? 1999. I was not 17.
yeah,
How old were you?
14.
I was 14 years old. Yes.
Let's just go with the trend of Charlie watching movies outside of an appropriate age range.
well, no, it was
Yep.
PG-13.
Oh, was
So,
it?
yes.
Yeah, I
So
I also
technically he was
same
allowed.
time I saw it in the theater, PG-13 movie.
I saw it much later. I don't remember when. I think late high school, maybe even early college. And to be honest, I obviously knew the line, I see dead people.
But that's
I knew
not the
it,
real
too.
twist.
But that's
The-
not
the-
even really the twist. That was the thing that was mostly spoiled.
Yeah.
So
Did you know the Bruce Willis twist?
so anyway, I think I remember watching it and then like midway watching it being like, "Oh yeah, this movie has a dumb twist," and then kind of figuring it out myself cuz when you know there's a twist, it's easy to figure out what it is.
It
Right.
is, especially, yeah.
Yeah, I think the fact there's a twist is enough of a spoiler.
Do you mean when Haley Joel Osment says when you tell a bedtime story, you have to put a couple little twists in there. And Bruce Willis says, twists? Like, what do you mean? And then he starts telling the exact plot of the movie we're watching.
Well, I got a little in my own head, like, I know the obvious twist of this movie, but is there like another one I don't know about that nobody's really telling me about?
No.
Is there like a second twist?
Unfortunately, no.
No, that is the main twist.
Unfortunately and unfortunately, no.
Well, I mean, and this was M. Night's first big movie, so this was before people were expecting him to do twists.
Right.
You know, 'cause,
and
like,
then
after
every
the-
movie
yeah.
after that, you're like, so where's the
Where's
twist?
the
What's
twist?
gonna
What is
happen?
the twist?
It was such a twist
M. Night
that
Shyamalan
it created
is
an
the twist.
expectation.
Right.
And then people started hating his twist. They were like, "That's not as cool as it could have been."
It's true.
So,
Yeah, I'm
but-
one of those people.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like you either love or hate him.
I feel
Yeah.
like the reveal,
Other than this movie,
the reveal of the twist wasn't as dramatic as I always assumed it would be.
Well, I find it kind of confusing what makes him realize. He sees his own wedding ring fall on the ground.
The wedding ring.
And that is what makes him realize?
Yeah, I feel like the further you dig on the whole he was a ghost thing or not alive, it falls apart really fast. Are we supposed to believe that he had no contact with anyone other than that kid?
well, no, that he only sees what he wants to see. He only remembers what he wants to
and
remember.
towards the beginning, they say, he like when he comes to dinner
That's
with his
true,
wife, he's
yeah.
like, time's falling apart, like time is weird, like so he's clearly not in a normal state.
He doesn't realize that
But the
he's
things that he's
All right,
experiencing
yeah.
feel normal to him.
Right, and even in the beginning, one of the beginning scenes, he and Toni Collette are in the same room. And the scene where they play a game and
Yeah.
Joel Osment either steps closer, steps further away, whether he's right or wrong.
Yeah, I have some questions about that.
Yeah.
That was the one scene where it seemed like she acknowledged his presence because she says you have 1 hour, like it was a therapy session.
Right. I would like to watch
But I guess
that
she
scene.
just
No, apparently she's just like
until
we're
the
eating in an
pancakes
hour.
were ready.
Yeah, we're
And-
gonna eat triangle shaped
also-
pancakes in 1 hour.
And she couldn't hear him talking to himself the whole time.
Well, she's
And-
probably used to it at this point.
That was that was a really interesting scene, and the scene where I started to pay attention to who was talking to Bruce Willis, and
and who wasn't.
who wasn't. I
Yeah,
guess.
no one was, actually.
Nobody was. Yeah.
But you actually don't even notice that. I mean, I didn't notice it the first time I watched it.
Right.
And then you go back and rewatch it, you're like, oh, that's fucking obvious. But you weren't expecting something like that the first time. It wasn't.
It stood out to me in the scene where they go to that funeral of the little girl, where he's just kind of like standing in the middle of the room.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's all these people milling about. I don't know. I feel like at a funeral, at least someone will be like, "Did you know her?" Like, no, he's just there. Anyway,
I think before we get too far into it, we
far?
should do retention.
I think
Yeah.
so. Was
All
Katie
right,
paying
Katie.
attention?
Retention intervention. Retention intervention.
Retention intervention.
Lay it
All
on
right.
me. Lay it
Katie
on
was
me.
taking notes.
I'll give you your first question, Katie.
Okay.
In the beginning of the movie, when we first are introduced to Cole and his mother, what cereal is Cole eating?
Cocoa Puffs.
Ooh, good.
Ooh, nice one.
Good.
It is a nice one. It's a good choice of cereal.
Yeah,
I always loved Cocoa Puffs.
I wanted to know what everybody's favorite childhood
Bonus
cereal
question.
Okay, go
What
ahead.
cereal is in the cabinet?
Whoa.
What treat?
Nope,
No.
nope.
What
There's a
cereal?
cereal in the
Yeah.
cabinet
I-
that's
okay.
facing us.
Okay, I feel like it's in a
Oh.
yellow box, so possibly Cheerios.
Paulie, do you know what it is?
Honeycomb?
Nope. That might have been in there, but I noticed Captain Crunch.
Oh.
Okay, but I was right about the yellow box.
And Will is thinking Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. I was like, that's not cereal, weirdos.
Because that was his
That was-
explanation for why every single
Right.
cabinet and drawer was open in the
I
kitchen.
know.
Okay, but what
Which
was
is-
the explanation? There was a ghost in there
The
There was a
running
ghost.
around?
the woman
Yeah.
who had slit her wrists over her husband.
Was
Right.
opening all the fucking cabinets.
Yeah,
I wish there was more.
they show him later.
Fuck your cabinet.
Lenny, look what you made me do.
Yeah.
Maybe open all the cabinets. Hey, what was the profession of Mr. Malcolm?
He was a child psychologist.
Correct.
Nice.
And what city are they in?
Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
You can tell by Toni Collette's accent.
Well, I thought it might have been New York in the beginning until they said it. Because I was noticing all the architecture.
They
okay.
first mention it when in the very first scene when she's reading the plaque
That's right.
in
Yeah.
his honor. It says like
Yeah.
from Philadelphia's mayor, blah blah blah.
I didn't
Yeah.
get that one.
So the first time Cole and Dr. Malcolm meet each other is in a church, and Dr. Malcolm notices a characteristic about his glasses. What is it?
That they don't have lenses because they belong to his father.
Correct.
Nice.
Thank you.
What was Malcolm's street address?
I have no idea. Something Culver Street?
Nope.
Shoot.
Guess a number between 1 and 100.
Okay, let's say 57.
Not too far off.
Shoot. I
And
remember
the
this.
street
69.
name is one of the plagues.
Locust?
It's 47 Locust Street. I just happened to hear when they said that and had to
Nice.
write it down.
Good job.
You were wrong, Katie.
Thanks.
That may be the hardest question we've ever asked someone on
Well,
this
I
podcast.
remember hearing it and thinking maybe I should write that down, and then I just didn't.
What does Malcolm's sweatshirt say that he wears?
Oh shoot! Something bowling. It was a bowling shirt. Somebody bowling league. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It was for a rowing club. I think it was Liberty Rowing Club.
was, yeah.
Rowing club.
Oh, I was really wrong.
Because of Philly.
Bowling.
bowling.
He wears it like
Bowling.
half the movie.
The old
That'd be-
Schuylkill River.
Okay, yeah.
So when Cole is arguing with his school teacher during class, he says something happened in the school. What was that thing that used to happen in the school?
Oh, people were hanged.
Yes.
Correct.
The old courthouse.
Correct.
That old.
This
Oh,
movie's
that
really
old
funny.
chestnut.
Pretty fun movie we just watched.
I didn't know you were funny.
Didn't know you were funny.
It's not a good. It's not a good bit.
Any,
Apparently.
apparently not. Is there any more questions for
Anyone
Katie?
have any
For
more
retention
questions?
intervention?
We should have more questions. Come on, guys.
I got one.
Okay, there we go.
What was the name of the supermarket that we see Cole and his mother leaving in a fun little shopping cart shot?
I don't know. Rite Aid?
Quickie Mart.
Incorrect.
What is it? Anyone know?
I don't really remember that
Anybody
scene.
know?
I don't remember that scene. Was that when Gracie was making a fit?
Yeah, she's been a little bit of a pain.
It brings us to tonight's sponsor.
Nice.
Food Lion?
Tonight's show is brought to you by Acme Supermarket.
No.
It was
way.
not called
Nuh-uh.
that.
Yes.
What are
it
you
was
talking about?
Acme Supermarkets. So, stop on by Acme anytime
Get
you
whatever
need
you
your,
want.
your milk, your eggs, your rocket skates, your human-sized slingshots,
That's right.
or a bottle of Pediaeze because we know that's the best medicine for our sick kids. A little bit of Pediaeze.
It was literally, there was a sign that said Acme Supermarkets.
Yeah.
Or you can just
That's messed
It was
up.
right behind her as they're rolling out.
That's messed up.
Acme. Yeah.
I guess maybe that exists in Philly. I guess we better look it up.
I'm glad you brought up Pediaeze too, because that's the cough syrup that his classmate does the commercial for.
Yep.
Such a good actor.
Are we done with the quiz? Because
I was going to use that, but then he
I have a
mentioned
thing
it.
about the kid.
No, please, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
done.
So that whole time, I was like, that kid looks
Yeah,
real
he
familiar.
did.
And so I was looking on IMDb at his thing. I'm like, no. I mean, yes, he probably had a bit role in this. I kind of recognize him from this. I mean, I bet you guys can guess what I recognize him from.
ER.
Yes! He had
Ding, ding, ding,
an
ding.
ongoing series of episodes about him as a sick kid. It was Anspa's kid who dies. Remember, babe?
we have not talked
Dark.
about ER in a long time
So
on
his,
this show.
His character name was Scott Anspa. It's a kid with a serious illness who becomes friends with Julie Boulay. And he was great. And I remember being really disturbed on the show because there's several episodes where he is sick and then he eventually dies. And I just remember thinking Dr. Anspa, like, is fine after? Like, for many he has, like, no emotional reaction. to that. Meanwhile, all the other doctors are upset every time anyone dies, and this guy's like, whatever, my kid died. I have no reaction.
He was just lucky to get a
Anyway,
core
Scotty and
storyline.
Spa, a.k.a. Tommy Thomason.
We have our first ER connection.
Oh my god, I was so excited to realize there was an ER
So-
connection.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all
So
I
how
have to
about Donny Wahlberg in this movie?
say. Which one?
Did
was
you
that?
ever figure out which one was Donnie? That's the next quiz question.
Which one was Donny Wahlberg?
Who was Donnie Wahlberg in
Well-
your opinion? Because I'm
They're
pretty
laughing
sure she
'cause I
does
have a
not
very
know.
Who was the most Donny Wahlberg?
So you knew Donny Wahlberg was in this
time.
movie.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say at one point asked if M. Night Shyamalan
Well, that was a
Donnie
joke.
Wahlberg. Yeah,
That was a really well placed joke, Polly.
I didn't know you were funny.
it was. Yes.
So did you didn't know who Donny Wahlberg
Okay,
was in
so
the
I
movie?
think it was one of the ghosts that didn't get enough airtime. With a gash in his head, the little boy in the gash in the apartment.
No,
little boy?
not
Donny
at all.
Wahlberg was a man when this movie was
He's a
made.
grown man.
He was a grown man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Years
so I
after-
have no idea.
Ah.
I have no idea.
Do you not know either?
I don't know.
Donny Wahlberg was Vincent Gray. He was the
No.
skinny little dude in the bathroom
he's
who
the man who
killed
kills?
Dr. Malcolm and then
Yeah.
killed
That's
himself.
not true, is it?
Absolutely,
Yes.
100%.
The guy in his tidy whiteys.
Oh, sassy.
Ooh, wow.
That's
he
Donny
did a really
Wahlberg,
good job.
right?
I
Yeah.
might not know who Donny Wahlberg is.
I think that's
Brother
You're
to
not
Mark
a New
Wahlberg.
Kids on the Block fan, apparently.
Wow, he did a really good job.
He did.
He lost
got
a lot of weight.
Like,
Apparently.
Just
Yeah.
for that little, oh my god,
he
that
got
was
a lot of critical
in my
acclaim
opinion,
for
the
that
most
small but
horrifying
important
scene. He did wow.
This was
with
also-
this drool coming out of his
Yeah.
mouth. I wasn't
This
breathing.
was
I wasn't
also
breathing. I wasn't
So he
pre
was just
Marky
waiting for them?
being huge.
role.
Marky wasn't huge yet.
Marky-
Only for Marky Mark and the
Marky.
Funky Bunch. He wasn't huge for his movies.
Charlie,
Oh,
this
he
is
was still-
post Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Come on. You know you're.
Post Boogie Nights, post what was that movie he did with
Was Boogie Nights in '97?
was it Fear?
Primal Fear? Or no, that's Wahlberg.
Fear.
It might be Fear.
You got the handler.
Crush, The Crush. Is that another one he was in?
We're working
we
with
might
a
be getting off subject.
Yeah, we're taking
Listen.
dog picks.
Also, we're working
to
with a live
Donnie.
audience tonight. We got 2 dogs and 2 friends with us.
At
as
least
well.
one cat.
and at least 1 cat. We got a couch full of.
Gracie just checked in on the mic. Thank you, Gracie.
She has her own mic.
Yeah.
I'm like,
This is gonna be a
Okay.
fun one.
So I have some questions that might help us get on track. First of all, Katie, what would you say the genre of this movie is? I remember thinking going into it there's going to be a horror movie, and then not being sure after that.
I think it was a psychological thriller.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
had
I
to
wholeheartedly agree.
categorize it because it was quite scary. Some like the jump cuts were a little spooky, but other than that, it wasn't too horror.
I think that this movie created its own genre of horror/thriller. To
Really?
be quite honest with you, and I think that you saw more movies like this come out afterwards, like a movie like The Others, and then maybe stuff like Insidious, which wasn't like. It was more about the suspense and the thrill of the ghosts than it was like a gore factor at that time, and that wasn't really a big thing. And I always thought M. Night took a lot of influence from someone like Hitchcock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
there was a drama within the story. It wasn't necessarily about the scary. It was about like the people, which I think Hitchcock was good at that too.
ASMR a genre?
I think it is now.
Do you think this is an ASMR movie?
Basically, the entire movie is whispering.
I wrote it down.
see that.
Especially the lead line, I see dead
Yeah.
people. But like, I was listening to Bruce Willis. He is like whispering the entire movie. Like, he might be hard whispering, but it's whispering, and everyone's whispering the whole movie. It's very quiet.
You also get the hissing audio tape
Yeah, that
right?
was-
You
Yeah.
in
get
the
that.
one scene where
That
he
was the-
turns it all the way up.
Okay,
Yeah, and she's
so
like-
that was the only scene I wish I had subtitles.
We did not watch with subtitles.
Could anybody understand what the ghost on that videotape was saying?
Oh, it was a
Sounded like
different language.
Spanish.
It
I
was,
knew,
okay,
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
what I
I
thought.
could tell it was not English. Or I thought for a second, is this like being played backwards? Like backwards
Wait, I
talk?
Like in
thought
The
that too.
Exorcist.
Yeah, exactly. It was
This-
just some like kind of backwards talk. So no, I could not understand what it was. I just knew it wasn't English.
Besides the opening scene, that was the creepiest scene to me. Anything that has to
Really?
do with the Vincent Gray storyline was just really spooky to me.
Well, I guess seeing him die at the very beginning
Yeah.
makes you like, okay, whatever happened before is kind of a big deal.
And that he just had the same affliction that
Exactly,
Cole
that's another
has.
thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a big
right.
discovery is that Cole wasn't the only one. You know, Vincent also saw dead people, but
yeah.
And so maybe that's why he was drawn to him.
yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
well that was one of the
If that's
biggest
why he died.
he had to fix
Larry!
it. You know,
Yeah.
classic ghost. You know,
You
gotta
have
fix-
you got to fix something before you move on, which brings me to a question because I've watched this movie two different ways, I suppose. And the one way I've
knowing
watched
knowing this.
no about the way you view who helps who, I guess. So I viewed it one way. I think the first couple of times thinking that Malcolm was there helping Cole. That was the purpose of it, and that he went to go help Cole. When this time around and the last time I watched it, I kind of thought of it as Cole was helping Malcolm the whole time, more so. And I also, another question that you guys
Yeah, I
can
mean,
answer.
that seems, I feel like that goes without saying. It's like, oh, I'm the grown up, I'm the psychologist.
But
like,
you- I think
obviously,
there
he's
was
the
like
one
a-
I think
being
you
taught
can
a
see
lesson.
it both
Yeah,
ways, but
there
here's a
was.
second part to that question. Do you think Cole knew that Malcolm was dead?
No.
No,
Yes.
Interesting. I looked at it as he knew.
Yeah,
because I think you could see it both ways.
no,
He
I think he
had
knew
to.
the entire time.
I think you could
He wouldn't have
see
told him
it
from the
that he
beginning?
didn't know
No, I guess not.
in the beginning, but he did towards the end, and also maybe he didn't know at all.
So,
No, I think he knows when dead people are talking to him. I think.
so in that first scene where Malcolm is there and he's like, come closer, let's play a game. I'm going to say something true. And then
Did you know? Did anyone not notice
scratching
like
my
how
head.
kind
So
of freaked
I just-
out
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he
very
was
scared.
when he came in the door and sees
Well,
Bruce Willis
why
there?
wasn't he blowing cold air or whatever?
Because they said it's only when they're angry.
Yeah.
I caught that too because I wondered that too. I'm like, I thought it was always supposed to be cold, but he did mention that it's only when the ghosts are angry,
That's
when the
a
dead
good
people
catch,
are
probably.
angry,
Yeah, I didn't
that
realize
it gets cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
I'll buy it.
they use it to show like the catharsis with his wife in the end.
Yeah, but
too.
he was angry. He was upset during the
Well,
whole
I
scene.
mean, of course he's
He's
emotional.
realizing, so he's getting emotional, yeah.
Okay.
And like
Yeah.
kids
I'll buy
don't
it.
know the difference between angry and like. Yeah, can we?
Maybe we just
that
shut that mic
dog-
off.
Yeah, shut the mic off.
It's making noise.
Gracie, we appreciate your opinions, honey, but
You need to stop moving around.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can hear it. It's very loud. That hurts.
Yeah, she's bumping into it.
And the cable.
cut it.
That's better. Thank you.
Dead.
Thank you.
Sorry, it's not coming through on
Well-
the recording. But
I'll buy
okay.
it, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've kind
Yeah.
of thought about it a different ways since I've watched this movie. Like you could take it from each person's point of view, almost like who's helping who, and I kind of thought about that recently too. Did he know he was dead the whole time or not? But I think I'll buy it that he did
Yeah,
after
I'm
your explanation.
pretty sure. Yeah, he knew. He didn't know how to maybe tell him. He didn't want to be the one. Obviously, he knows that Bruce Willis still thinks he's alive. Now, as a little child, you don't want to be the one to be like, no, you're dead, dude. You know? You
Yeah.
don't want to do that to him.
I think their goodbye scene makes a lot more sense now. Because Cole was basically like, I know this is goodbye. You don't necessarily know
Exactly,
this is goodbye.
yeah.
Because you have some stuff to figure out.
So he's saying go talk to your wife while she's asleep, and then
Yeah, go
teach you
sleep talk to your
things?
wife. That was kind of like a weird thing, too. I don't know if I bought into that. You can talk to people, but just while they're sleeping.
I think it was more of him just encouraging his wife or encouraging him to talk to his wife, and actually, so he
But
did-
she talked back. That was the crazy thing. Is she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she like almost responded as if she was listening.
Well,
you know?
how many
Like,
dead people do you think you talked to in your sleep?
I think even
No. You wouldn't
even
know.
in the restaurant
even
scene
know.
though, they kind of play off each other enough that you would think, okay, maybe that even though he's a ghost, we find out there's still some sense that he's there.
some connection.
Yeah, so why couldn't it be stronger when she's
unconscious.
Well, that-
under sleep paralysis
I like
and senses
that
the
idea
presence
because
of him?
if she was there trying to have a nice dinner and that just to like remember him and then he comes in and sits down, and she just gets this like overwhelming, chilly feeling, she's gonna react that way. She's gonna be like, I can't be here.
Do you think that's what it was?
I mean, I don't know. I fucking have no idea.
I think
Maybe.
it's
She definitely, he wasn't there. She wasn't talking to him, so.
Well, she obviously went there. You can like,
Yeah,
there's
she
a
went
telltale
there-
like when there's only one place setting set. You know.
Yeah, she
you
went there
obviously-
to be like, this is our anniversary. I want
Which
to
is also
honor
good.
him.
I don't know. Would you guys?
It's an interesting way to mourn.
Some
I
people
would
do
judge.
that.
Did you guys mourn by
There's some people-
visiting the spot of
I
your?
don't know, I've never lost a spouse.
A lover?
but I would guess
People
it would
do
be really
that. It's
difficult.
been
on the
documented.
anniversary. Is that how
Yeah.
you want to spend that anniversary?
No, but some people do that.
she got
Not
all
me.
dressed up.
Yeah, it happens.
No, she just looks that good all the time.
It's the way people. No,
She's
it's
just sassy
it's honestly
as
the way
fuck.
people
Ever since
act.
Rushmore.
I
she
mean,
was
she's trying to
hot.
get laid with the whole, like, I'm a widow thing. You know, that whole thing that people do.
Well,
Yeah,
we
that
had
old
what's
thing.
his name? It was trying to get it.
Yeah. What
Did
was
he-
his role? He was the, like,
He worked.
assistant
Yeah,
at
he
her
worked with her.
He had a master's degree.
antiques
Yeah.
shop.
He did mention that.
Is
I
he
don't
the
think he needed some of
Walter
the
of this
master's
movie?
degree to move his furniture.
Yeah. He seemed really young.
So
He
he
did seem young, but he was super nice.
was very nice.
He's
Yeah.
fine.
Wasn't too pushy.
I barely remember him.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Spoilers
I bet-
movie.
I
He was
have
a
little
non-issue.
to no
forgettable.
commentary, yeah.
He is. He is the Bill Pullman.
So I thought the major theme of this movie was communication. I don't know if anyone else thought about that too,
Yeah.
because I just felt
Yeah.
like everyone, trying to talk, like Cole trying to tell his secret to his mother, Dr. Malcolm trying to, tell his wife everything he felt before he could move on. Also, Dr. Malcolm being able to communicate with Cole that he wasn't a freak and that everything was going to be okay before he could move on.
And the poor kid trying to communicate with his classmates.
Yeah.
Poor
It's
kid.
just like we all have that struggle where you can't communicate unless you have a common language, and these people just didn't. So it wasn't until they were able to establish.
You're dead and I'm not.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Well, Cole also having that secret of like, I see these things that no one else does, and they're just gonna think that I'm crazy if I tell anyone. And he was so afraid to tell his mom because she looked at him like no one else did.
Oh, I love the mom.
I know. How old do we think Cole is in this movie?
8, 9,
7?
10.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Ages of kids, I don't
That's
know.
like a 10.
He's so
10,
little.
11.
Really? Okay.
11?
Nah,
He's
10.
so little.
Did you see his friends though?
It's not
What do
explicit.
you,
He is a lot
His
smaller than the
friends.
rest of us.
does anyone in this room know anything about the sizes of children?
Well, my nephew is going on 7, so
He seems mature.
The peanut gallery says 10.
okay.
10?
Sure.
Thank
The
you.
Alright, I
peanut, the
buy it.
peanut
We're gonna go
gallery
with
with
that.
children.
If he's been afflicted with this his whole life, he's got a pretty good grasp on what's going on. So he's got to be at least that old.
Yeah, good point.
I found
Go
the
ahead.
payoff of the grandmother
Oh,
kind of sneaky this time. I definitely shed a tear when they finally had the scene in the car where Cole reveals his secret to his mother, and she's already like just the impact of hearing that. She's crying, but
Oh, she's
then
so good.
he says grandma says hi, or grandma says it's okay or something.
Yeah, he says every day. Yes, every day. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and if you weren't already fucking crying
Yeah.
by the time she says,
That scene is so
I
intense.
did cry.
yeah.
I was
I cried.
wondering-
Who cried?
I did.
Me?
So I think
I do
really
every
that
time.
that's the sneaky
Every
payoff.
goddamn
Katie's raising her
time.
hand.
Of this movie
We're on the
to me,
radio.
besides
How about you,
the-
Paul? Did you shed any tears or even
I
a
didn't,
little
but
bit?
I got the emotional tinge. I
Yeah.
got the It didn't quite bring. I'd seen it several times. So
Cold
I-
as ice.
No, I think at one time or another. on
He
the
said he got
viewing-
the tinge.
Yeah,
That's
I got the
the same.
tinge.
Paul's ghost.
I know the feeling.
No,
cold
I
in here?
definitely get that gives me
Cold
the
as
feels.
ice.
But that's just a great
Willing
acted
to
scene too.
sacrifice.
Oh,
Between the two of him,
Yeah.
and Haley Joel Osment is amazing in this movie. Being a child actor, he hits everything. That scene where she's asking him about the bumblebee pendant, and he does his mannerisms, like he folds his hands and he starts to get kind of upset, and it's just like slow burn conversation.
well, it's also
Back
M.
and
Night
forth.
Shyamalan has a special way he shoots
Mm-hmm.
these movies, and it's just high drama. And that scene in particular, I noticed
And
it.
the music too.
And the
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
I think it might be. Sorry,
ahead.
Willa.
No, go ahead.
I think it might be. Yeah, it is. It's my favorite child acting performance.
Wow.
I think.
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Because
a bold statement.
It is a bold statement, but a lot of times child acting, while great, can just be them acting like an adult. And it's like, oh, wow, that kid's really good at acting because he can, act like an adult. But Haley Joel Osment in this movie, also keeps that kid-likeness to it. He doesn't act smarter than he is. He doesn't act, out of his range. He very much sells this sheepish, shy kid while dealing with it makes sense. He's haunted by ghosts. He's constantly haunted by ghosts. So I think I can't think of another child performance that can quite measure
What
up.
about Paul? What about Big Daddy? What about that?
First of all, those were twins.
Yeah. Oh, half credit. Credit.
So they don't get, full credit on that.
I think like E.T. or Close Encounters.
Yeah.
We just watched. Although that's pretty minor.
Yeah,
the
not enough
kid
weight,
can barely utter.
They put a lot of weight on
can
Haley
suck.
Joel Osment in this movie.
Yeah.
If it was the wrong kid actor, this movie
doesn't work.
He doesn't distract from the plot.
Yeah.
He very much sucks you in.
And
That's a good
It's so
point.
hard to find a young actor that can hold the weight of a movie like this.
I agree with Polly in that half of the movie, the emotions you feel come through his innocence. And he's dealing with these heavy topics, but he's dealing with it as a 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
And how a 10-year-old
like a
would
real 10-year-old,
would react to these things. And that's where I was just gripping, because it's just you're putting yourself, how would you feel if your child was struggling with something you couldn't understand? And
well, let's move, since you said that, to Toni Collette.
yeah.
What
She
a
did
gem.
great.
She's
Yeah.
such a great
Did she
asset to this film.
She's a fox.
You like that look?
I forgot how sexy she was in this movie.
90s Toni Collette.
Of course, it's
Thin
20 years
eyebrow.
ago now, and she's...
Thin eyebrow, lip line. Yeah.
It is a very,
silvery the silvery
Oh, the
pink nail
long
polish.
nails.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God.
And they're right across the bridge from New Jersey, so it's a very Jersey look.
Yes.
So here's a question. Okay, so now we know that Toni Collette had not called him as a psychiatrist. So the whole time I was thinking, A, she should call a real psychiatrist to help this child.
Correct.
And I don't know if I said A or B or 1 or 2 or nothing. But B,
H.
do you find her reaction to his shenanigans, if we can call it that, realistic? What is that how you would react?
I do. Absolutely. Go ahead, you go, Paul.
Why didn't you call a real psychiatrist though?
Affordability,
Yeah, exactly. They made it clear she was working
2 jobs.
multiple
And you look at their apartment they're living in.
Yeah, I don't think
he looks like he's going to a good private school, and that's probably where she's putting a lot of her money.
Yeah, I don't think she
Or
has the
her-
kind of money to
Yep.
to pay for child psychologists.
Yeah, she would put some of her trust, I think, in that school system that she's
That's
paying
probably-
for.
yeah, that's
She's
probably-
hopefully they'll straighten this kid out.
Exactly.
Plus
She
this
knew she couldn't just put him in a public school.
Definitely reminded me of The Exorcist when she's at the doctor and she's just like, "What is wrong with my kid?"
Yeah.
And they're just
I
like,
bet that's deliberate.
"Woo, woo, woo."
I bet that's deliberate.
Yeah, it could be.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think it's an homage, and it's kind of the flip side because it is like the working class version of that.
Yeah.
Whereas The Exorcist, she was privileged. She was a famous actress.
Famous actress, but this is the more.
So it's almost the
Working
stakes
class.
can be lower, but you feel the tension that much more because it could ruin her life. just the psychological side of it.
What'd you think, Katie? Realistic?
Her reaction to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think when you're in a situation like that, you just don't know what you don't know. And coming from a working class, grinding, means to an end situation, I think you would think mental health was a little frivolous. And
Well,
not
especially
something
20 years ago, too.
Yeah, especially in the 90s
Yeah.
where this stuff wasn't really a focus, especially when it came to kids, So I think she just tried to talk it out so much, and again, she just didn't have the language to communicate it, so.
Are we supposed to? I mean, is this supposed to be the like first wave of the kid dealing with this kind of thing, or is basically doing it his whole life?
It's a good question because it conjured up.
He seemed very scared.
It conjured up for me some other Shyamalan movies, more recent ones like Unbreakable and Split and Glass, where this kid kind of has like a superpower.
Sure.
It's like
and
he could go on and like do awesome things. Actually, like solve a lot of mysteries.
And he finally comes to terms with that.
Yeah,
within the film, like, it seems like these people need help, and I can actually offer that. And I do like that scene where they're showing all the photos of him as a child, and they're seeing all the little glints in the
glimmer
photos.
of light, yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I guess these are all the little ghosties following him around. It could be that, they'd been following him and finally started to actually communicate with him in a more physical way.
I couldn't tell if those glimmers of light were just representing random ghosts or his father, because his father
I
died.
thought so.
No. His father
didn't
moved
die.
to Pittsburgh.
He just left?
Yeah.
His father left him. Yeah, his father didn't die.
I assumed he died.
No.
Nope.
Oh.
They mentioned it once.
They just upped and left?
He upped and left him.
Who the hell is that guy? Where the hell
He
is
moved
he
to
during all
Pittsburgh to be
this?
with a flight
Because he says
attendant?
when
What
he's
was the-
Wow.
the thing about the watch
Douche.
is that he asks like, "Oh, your father gave this to you before he left," and he says, "No, he left it."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess I assumed when he said he left that he meant just...
I did. When I saw those photos,
Left
I thought it was the same ghost with him throughout his childhood, but now I realize they're just around all the time.
Well, that
he must be
always got a
inundated.
ghost.
that
Yeah,
ghost that
that's
was
what he
sitting on the
says.
bench with him may have been his grandmother
And I was wondering, like,
because he was
halfway...
kind of at peace.
Oh, true. I was wondering halfway through the movie when we were just kind of hearing about these ghosts, when we would start seeing, if we were ever going to start seeing them and seeing what he saw. And I think we did, just not on the level I wanted. Like...
Well, we saw the bicyclist at the end.
Yeah.
Well, and you see the kids and the... Yeah, I mean, I guess when I hear, like, I see dead people, they're just walking around all the time.
Can you imagine
everywhere.
how many dead people?
Like, it would be cool to see a scene of him just, like, in a park where, like, half the people are dead.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
That would have been a
Exactly.
cool
Did you
visual.
notice though?
like a train accident or something. Like
Yes.
speaking
Well,
of Unbreakable.
right.
We kind
Exactly.
of brushed over
Yeah.
it, but the lynching in his school. He
Yeah.
goes to school in a place that had lynchings, like, hangings for people. It's like, wow, that would be fucking hard to concentrate.
Well, that...
He's got ADD.
Yeah.
Give him some Adderall.
Well, then I think I realized that they come to him when they need to be heard.
Right.
I don't think he just sees them
Like
all the
every
time.
single day. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
Right. They only come to him when they need help, and then he realizes, oh, I can help these people.
But he did. There is a scene where they're driving by the cemetery, and he's looking, and then he looks away quickly, like almost like he
Yeah.
saw a bunch of them,
Yes.
and he gets really uncomfortable.
I noticed that too.
And I guess some of that's left to the imagination.
Sure.
I mean, guess again, it's like 1999. Not everything was CGI or a lot of a lot
Charlie,
of
you
effects.
peeing?
Yes, I had to get a little pee in.
That's CGIP.
Oh, how about that pee he takes? Like when he runs to the bathroom and he's
Oh,
shaking
that
his legs. I'm like,
moment.
I've been there. That cold shuffle you do down the hall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
His cute
God.
little legs.
Yeah.
Oh, it broke my
Oh
heart.
my god.
With
But that
bags,
is
so
the
it's
moment where
around.
they reveal the first dead person, I think.
Right.
I think
And they
so.
I think they do handle that first reveal well, where you just see him walk by the camera, or her. I think it's the woman that they find in the kitchen eventually.
Very Shyamalan-esque. That reminded me of the alien in
Signs, yes.
Yeah.
Which Signs is another good
I
Shyamalan.
think, he leaves,
We
I
might be
think
doing that in the
he's
future.
really good about leaving a lot of it to your imagination
Yeah.
and thinking about like what is the scare, like what is the phenomenon. I guess.
I've been kind of crapping on Shyamalan, but after watching this movie, like, he does have a great vision, and like the way he lays out things is very, very deliberate, very visually pleasing, and it
And if you
it
love
goes along with the
ASMR,
plot.
then very audibly pleasing.
Yeah.
Well, there were some cool camera moves and stuff
There
that I
was,
noticed. Like
yeah.
we mentioned the scene where he has to take a step forward or back. Well, the camera is actually moving with him, which really accentuates the tension of the conversation. Or there's a cool one shot where she's sewn the diamond ring to the couple for the
Through the
engagement.
window of
Yeah,
the-
and it's a long one shot.
And the shot
the
in the
case.
beginning when they're being filmed through the reflection of his award.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was quintessential.
Yeah.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the Hitchcock influence, where the visual techniques are old school, but they kind of build some tension.
I've always loved his script writing too, like his dialogue between characters, and it's always about an emotional story. It's always an emotional story between people. It's not about the event that's happening necessarily. It's more about the people that it's affecting. So a lot of people shit on movies like The Village or even Signs because
I like
the
The
ending.
Village.
But there's a
I think
great
it's good.
there's a great
I like Signs
character
too.
development.
Who
there.
shits on these things?
I've never seen
Me.
Signs.
Paul,
Me.
I did hate The Happening, or just like
you never
what?
seen Signs?
No.
Maybe we'll have you back for part 2 of Shyamalan.
I haven't seen a lot. Well, I will say I was 9 years old when this movie came out. So when Sixth Sense came out.
Holy shit!
So
Wait a second.
Wait,
so that was
2000?
1999.
99.
99.
So
I
that
Katie
was
was
11.
Katie was
Yeah.
9 years old, Paul. We were going through.
Paul was 88.
wasn't a 98,
favorite
99
joke.
yearbook we were going through of yours when Katie was 9?
Thank you, Charlie, for just clearing that up for everyone. Doing the math.
Here's another question
Yeah.
for y'all. Do we think Malcolm is a good therapist?
I do, actually. I was taking note to his methods of
Connecting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
He was good with kids.
Not
obviously.
overbearing, not grilling, not asking questions, not, but like connecting. And like, I'm like, wow, you know what? Yeah, this guy would be a good child psychologist. Just his.
One thing that freaked me out, kind of, is when he was just like sitting on a bench reading the kid's file, and then he would come out of his house, and then he would talk to him. I was like,
Yeah.
is that?
Oh, yeah.
How about during scheduled times, guy? This is weird.
He was
They
also
were
a
like
ghost.
Friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Charlie, by the
He
way,
doesn't
everybody.
know.
now I know that.
Yeah.
He didn't know that.
He didn't know.
He was
He
a
didn't know
ghost.
he was a ghost.
He's like,
He was
"It's
just
totally
stalking
fine.
this kid.
I'm just gonna bring this kid to a random girl's funeral on the other side of town. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
another question. How did he get there?
He went there on his own.
I have a lot of questions about the physicality of ghosts. Like,
okay.
He
let's
just
get- let's
appeared
get to the
wherever
bottom of
we
it.
saw him.
But how
You
did-
guys act like he had a whole
How
separate
did
life
Cole-
off screen.
did he eat?
How did Cole explain to his mom, nah, I gotta go to this funeral?
Right. How did
What?
Cole explain to his mom a lot of things?
I think
Yeah.
Cole got time to himself, and he used to go to the church
Latch-
to play.
Stop peeing, Charlie. God.
A latchkey kid. I can really see that. I actually relate
Well, I was
to
one of
Cole.
those
When
too.
is the
She had two
funeral?
jobs.
When are funerals?
I relate to Cole.
Okay, so
a
if he's
lot in this
10,
movie.
if he's 10 and she's got 2 jobs, yeah, he probably just has a lot of time to himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is 1999,
Okay, yeah.
where I mean, I was running rampant.
She's
Without
probably
my dad's
like, you're old
supervision in
enough to stay
1999.
home and do your homework.
Well, that's just.
If you were 10 years old and you lived in Philadelphia, how would you even go about getting to this
I don't know, they
random
must have
funeral?
public
I think if you're 10 years old and you live in a city, you probably are taught how
And
to...
are you riding with Ghost Bruce Willis the whole time?
He was.
Yeah, they were on the
They
bus
definitely
together.
show him on the bus.
Yeah,
Though,
that's
does
true.
the little girl, okay, which we pointed out was Misha Barton that throws up in the tent.
You mean the one that got sharper objects?
Yeah, exactly.
Munchausen by
alert.
proxy.
Nice
Thank
one.
you.
Thanks.
That's my favorite indie band.
That's Yes, man. Zoe Deschanel.
Never seen it.
I wrote
well,
Puke
that's
Mouth.
Her band.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Lady
Oh.
Puke Mouth.
That's her
Also
band.
known.
Wow, she has so many bands.
Well, her
Hey,
character's band.
Side conversation.
The Lady Puke Mouth, Misha Barton. Did she like
Lady
throw up?
Puke
Did
Mouse.
she like throw up and then be like, "Oh, by the way, here's my address"? Like, how did he
Right?
know? Did he
Yeah.
just
No,
follow
she
the
threw
vibe?
up and she's like, actually, I'm feeling better. Did you notice
And
that?
then he
Did you
asks
hear
her.
that?
He asks her,
He
"Is there something
says,
you need to
"Is
tell
that a
me?"
mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live at 152 Birch Street. I'm having a funeral.
Please
Check
tell.
under my bed.
Here's my sister. This is what she looks like. Which we never see her face.
That scene, though. Let's just dissect that scene.
Sure.
Okay, so we got Haley Joel Osment. We got Bruce Willis. They're coming up to the funeral. They walk in. They immediately go up to the girl's bedroom. They find this chest. Real spooky videotape inside. Presented to the dad.
But she just plays right on the
He
spot.
watches it immediately, and the entire
Right in the middle of the living room.
shames the mother. I mean, it's dark as fuck.
It's so dark.
Well, it's kind of
never saw that
incriminating.
coming.
It's super, not kind of, it's
Yeah,
super
it's super
incriminating.
incriminating.
And, I mean, the fact, well, first of all, I knew this was a horror movie. As soon as I saw all the dolls and puppets, I mean, that's a sure sign of a horror movie.
Unnecessary.
But it makes you think,
She-
like,
she liked
this
to play with
woman-
puppets.
That's true. That's the whole reason that the video would have been set
Yeah.
up so she could play.
Oh, well,
she
and
could-
this woman probably was like, children are dolls. I don't think of them as
Oh yeah.
people. I want them to be little babies that I can take care of forever. Oh,
Right.
and now they're starting to be grown-ups, and I'm gonna fucking...
So she made a house.
She needs the sympathy.
And
Yeah, exactly. It's just
tiled the
it's-
floor with
wow,
teeth.
guys, we really
Fucked
broke
up.
it down. Wow,
It's fucked up, man. My mom was fucked up.
that was a crazy. Important
I actually-
I can't get
It's
on
also a
board with
theme
that.
in Hereditary where she builds dollhouses. And,
Ugh.
Toni
True.
Collette.
Toni
yeah,
Collette.
Toni Collette.
I kept thinking of Toni Collette and Hereditary in this. I was like, wow, she plays a really good unhinged mom. I love her. She's great.
Okay, so
Hotter
I-
in this though.
Yeah. Well, now we're getting to see.
We
what-
definitely know
Hey,
Abe's
looks like-
opinion on Toni Collette.
Wow,
and
I'm gonna
The
have to
Sixth
dye my
Sense.
hair.
You're gonna have to
Uh-huh.
match your
Get some
eyebrows.
You better,
fucking
you're gonna get some
long
extra
nails.
long nails, Will. Get your nails did.
Wow, I didn't realize I was
And you're
not.
gonna
Spend some
say-
time in
you're gonna-
Philadelphia.
You're gonna have to say,
Get that
look at my
accent
face.
going.
Philadelphia.
Look at my face.
Look at my
Look
face.
at my face. I would never think that.
I would never say that about you. Look at my
Okay,
face.
so who else?
Does this look like a face that would
Is
say
that Rocky? Are you doing Rocky?
No, we're doing Toni Collette in The Sixth Sense. She says it at least 3 times. Look at my face.
I liked that though.
I liked it too.
I want to know. The whole time I was wondering throughout this movie, like, what was the outcome? What's the solution? He obviously can't get rid of this ability.
So he
So
just
that's
That's what
helps
I was
them.
saying.
Well, now I understand that, but I was kind of envisioning like a Beetlejuice. Like, I got an A on my test. Let's play jump in the line and like do the
Yeah.
karimbo or whatever it's called.
Ba-da-ba-da. Yeah, that would be cool.
Shake,
Yeah.
shake,
Shake, Sonora. Shake your body right.
round.
Can you?
Shake,
Shake, shake, Sonora.
Shake it all around.
We know.
Wow, we really know
Alex,
that song.
we need you on
No,
this
that was
one.
great. That way we won't
need
get
Alex.
sued.
Yeah.
Save it for when
Okay.
we actually do Beetlejuice.
Sorry, yes.
Wow, Abe.
But
Abe's got plans.
I just had a thought and forgot it.
I never knew Abe had such a thing for Toni Collette. You
Yeah,
never
okay,
shared
yeah,
that
I'd
with
like to
me.
get back to it.
Will is like, actually, can we go back to that, please?
I feel like my marriage was a sham.
Okay, so did she, Paul?
It was a long time ago.
Paul, did she win?
And right now, you find her sexy, clearly. I'm too earthy.
Katie's trying to be the
Yeah.
middle classic
Okay,
middle
go
child
ahead.
here. She won an Oscar for this performance,
Toni Collette?
didn't she?
Is that a question?
I'm wondering.
I
She's
do
saying it in a
have-
high-pitched voice, so I think it's a question.
No, I have the.
I thought she won an award. For
Yeah,
that.
Polly, tell us some box office and awards stuff.
It did not
You're the expert.
win. It was nominated several times, but it did not win.
Okay. Well, she deserved it. She deserves every
Any
award.
Oscars? No, I just have the Oscars here, but it was nominated for Best Picture. Which I was watching this and I was like, I wonder if this was nominated for Best Picture because it actually was an actual really good movie. Like,
What? Do you know what won that year? By chance? 99?
yeah,
I
can
don't
check it
remember.
out.
We can wait. We can edit.
Was it
Yeah,
Toy Story?
never mind.
That's what I remember from this year. Just kidding.
But Haley
go
Joel
ahead.
Osment nominated Best
Sure,
Actor.
Yeah, that
Best
sounds
Best
familiar.
Actor.
Best
Best actor.
Yeah, not supporting.
Great.
Nope,
Fuck
sorry.
it.
Yes, in a supporting role.
Edit that. Edit that.
Toni Collette,
Best supporting.
supporting actress. Yep.
Okay.
Emma Knight got nominated for Best Director, as well as Best Writing.
Cool. But
And he also got
nothing
nominated
won.
for Best Film Editing.
But nothing
Good
won.
editing. No. No wins. Let's see. Yep.
I would like an
They
entire
won
podcast.
the ASCAP Film and
ASMS.
Television Music Awards Top Box Office Films winner 2000.
Okay.
That's an award for how much money it made.
I would like an entire
And also
podcast
the
of
Academy
Paul
of
doing
Science
that.
Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror
Of the actually
Saturn Award winner.
a Saturn
Saturn
Award.
Award
winner?
Uh-huh. Best horror film.
All right.
Best horror film. Let's talk about that. Do you guys think
Okay.
it's a horror film?
Yes.
I do.
No.
I don't.
At
I
the
don't.
time,
Listen,
in '99,
during the time period, the horror genre was not doing so hot. So this kind of rejuvenated that.
I wrote down a few moments.
It wasn't a good time
Don't
for
think
the
I can
genre.
call it a horror
Abe, let's-
movie,
Suspense
though.
thriller.
Abe,
Yeah,
let's hear your
that's
scary
not
part.
horror.
Stuttering Stanley. Stuttering Stanley.
That
That
was
scared
scary.
you?
It scared me because he
Jesus, Abe.
freaks out.
So-
Isn't it scary?
Startled me.
And he's a horrifically bad teacher because he's immediately lashes back at the kid.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know where you heard that, kid, but you're wrong.
So
You're a
must-
freak. He
he
calls
must
him a freak.
I know.
Yeah,
He
that's
also-
right.
He freaks out.
He must have heard it from a ghost who had been around when that
Yeah.
teacher went to school
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it must have been there. Oh, because there was a lot of teachers that were teaching there that died in the fire.
That's right.
Can you find that out at the end?
Oh, yeah.
He's
Which was
like-
kind of a nice moment
Yeah,
because
Kind
now
of.
he's like getting to know these ghosts
yeah,
in a nice way.
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I could still call it a horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, I
Horror is
It has horror
I think I
elements.
definitely thought it was a horror movie going into it. The first time I watched it, I was like reluctant to watch it because I had heard it was scary. But I mean,
There's
it's
a
more
br-
of a thriller, like Katie said. It's
Yeah.
not so much. I mean, horror. I think of like gore and
Yeah.
jumps and
Well, you do see gore. There's a break-in in the opening scene, and
It's more like
somebody's
paranormal.
killed by gunfire.
God, that scene was so unreal.
The
I did not
opening scene?
expect
Yeah.
that right away.
Well, that was the twist for you.
And and it kind of in the end it kind of tied it all together with do you know why you're afraid when you're alone? That moment like blew my mind because he says it in the beginning. Do you know why
Yeah.
you're afraid when you're
I never
alone?
caught that.
And then in the end,
Oh, yeah, they say it
Cole was
again.
like, do you know why you're afraid when you're alone? And it's because we all kind of have a sixth sense. We all know when there's ghosts in the room because the tingles in our backs and the temperature goes down.
chills,
Yeah, I know.
I gotta take
But-
a pee. Hold on. Oh, that's a really quiet
ASMR.
pour. Sorry.
So it's kind of shining a light that we all kind of have this ability to feel these things. It's just that certain people can see them and feel them a lot more than that. And just the correlation between Cole and the person in the beginning whose name is
Vince?
somebody
Vincent?
Gray.
Vincent Gray.
That
Does
was
Katie
just my
believe
favorite
in
thing.
ghosts?
Oh, no, I don't believe. I do. I don't want to. I don't want to believe in ghosts.
So what's your sixth sense? Let's pretend we all have a sixth sense and it can be different for all of us. What's yours?
Oh my. Maybe just like kind of understanding what people are saying without them saying it, kind of being like a medium in between people. Like you're trying to communicate this, but I'm kind of hearing what you're really meaning. I can get that a little bit.
Sure.
Just being a middle child and
Yeah,
someone
absolutely.
or a child from a single parent, you kind of have to assume those kind of overtones that normally people would have.
Yeah, I feel like
Two
you're
of
good
those.
at reading a room and being like, there's a vibe here that
Mm-hmm.
is subliminally
Yeah.
something else is happening on top or underneath of what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Can you read my mind, Katie?
I can't read your mind, Polly, but I don't know if I'd want
Your
to.
father gave you that watch right before he left.
How'd you know?
No, the answer is no, he didn't.
Oh no, he left it in the drawer.
drawer. Doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Doesn't work. Stupid watch.
What's your sixth sense, Charlie?
I think my sixth sense is my intuition about people and situations. Like, I can hear someone talk about something that's going on in their life, and I can kind of already see how that's going to unfold if they don't. And just when I meet people, I can kind of get a sense of, who they are and how I'm going to relate to them or not relate to them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
Probably.
My sixth sense is I can always tell. I don't know. I had nothing saved up for this.
I can always tell when it's raining.
My boobs can always tell if it's raining currently.
30%
That's my sixth sense. 30%. Is there a 30% chance it's raining right now?
It's like I have ESPN or something.
Yeah.
Wrong movie, everybody.
Recent movie. Abraham, do you have a
nice.
sixth sense?
Yes, it's the ability to see.
That's
funny,
not normal.
right?
That's a fifth
Five
sense.
senses.
That's a
Basic
fifth
five
sense.
senses.
Yeah.
No. Well, I guess not then.
I don't
I
know
see
if
dead
this
people?
counts as a fifth
Whoa. Hold
Whoa,
on.
wait,
What if
you
we're
do?
dead?
I thought that was
Am
the
I
fifth.
dead? Abe, tell me right now. Am I dead? I need to
sixth sense. You
know.
tell us, babe. Are we dead? Is this podcast
Oh,
just
shit.
a hoax?
Wouldn't it be
We're all
Break
fucked
it
up
to
if
us.
we were all dead and Abe was just doing
This
this
is how
for
he
fun
breaks
by
it to
himself?
us.
This
Yeah.
is how he wins Tony Collette's
I'm
love.
going to do a whole year of podcasts and
fuck.
finally do Sixth Sense so I can tell them that they're all dead.
It's all been leading up to this. Abe.
Or I'm dead.
We're all dead.
And we all
I
have
don't know
the
if this
sixth
counts as a
sense.
sixth sense,
I
but
know.
every once in a while when I'm like asleep and I'm not, okay, so sometimes, so I live in a house with many cats and they frequently jump on the bed, right? Okay, this is the thing. Sometimes, actually almost every time that I have to travel for work or something and I'm by myself in a hotel room, I wake up in the middle of the night feeling like a cat just jumped on the
Oh,
bed.
yeah.
It happens to me like almost every time I travel and there's no animals. So I don't know if
It's
that
like
counts.
the phantom
but-
phone ring in your pocket, right?
Yes, right, exactly,
Yeah.
sure. So I'll like wake up and be like, meow, cat, come here. And then I'm like, I'm nowhere. I'm in a hotel. I'm a freak. Ah. So I think some ghost cats are trying to hang with me in hotels.
Or you have a psychic connection with your cats and they're just
Yes.
jumping on your bed and
That
you're
could be
feeling
true.
it.
That could be.
That happens to me when I spend a lot of time at my mom's.
Does that
who
make
has
me the
a
most
lot of
true
cats.
cat lady that I have
Yeah,
ghost
probably.
cats that want to be my friend in hotels?
I think our brain just shows us things and lets us feel things. That cats are a good way to be like, oh, it was just the cat.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
probably true too. Yeah.
So when we're away from that situation, our brain will still be like, oh, emotion in the corner. Oh, and part of our brain will be like, oh, it's just the cat or it's just the dog. And then you're like, wait a minute.
I don't have a cat or a dog.
I don't have a cat or dog. I am the dog.
I am the dog. Wait, Bruce Willis was the dog the whole time?
Yep, that's the twist.
Bruce Willis was the cute little husky pup.
Oh, we didn't talk about the husky pup.
really?
All right, okay.
go ahead.
Wait, I wrote a note about the husky pup and actually
Hold
One
on,
of
were
our-
you writing notes on a small
Tiny
manila
yellow
envelope?
I was.
Tiny
I wrote my
manila
questions
envelope.
and my notes on here. But I was like, all right, so Peanut Gallery, we have some guests here, and one of them looked over my shoulder and she goes, I thought the same thing. Whispered, just like the movie. But the most unrealistic thing about this movie was that there was a husky puppy running through this house that was not kenneled. Now that house would have been fucking destroyed if that was real life.
Oh, because huskies are intense.
Yeah, they're intense and
Yeah,
they
they
don't
are.
like to be left alone and they need a lot of attention.
That dog would have been. I thought about that too because I'm a dog owner, and that dog would have been alone a lot of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Haley Joel Osment alone was alone too much.
That's
That
true.
kid doesn't know how to take care of a puppy.
they never walked that dog.
Never saw it outside.
and
the
it
front.
never was with hate.
Guys,
The
Was
dog
the
was
dog-
dead.
Dog was dead.
Oh,
my
shit.
No, no,
oh God, I'm gonna cry.
no. The mom,
I
the
love
mom
it.
acknowledged the dog.
No.
Yeah, when it's in the
Did she ever
hamper.
feed it?
When it's in the hamper.
Well, I think I think maybe the mom had a little bit of it too, because she saw the handprint. She obviously
Ooh,
saw.
I think the handprint was just
It was
him
the
being
kid. It
sweaty,
was the
being
boy.
scared.
No, it was a large handprint. Because I
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I'm like, could that just be? No, it was a man or woman.
I don't think she would have been. I don't think the cupboards being open and those sort of things would have been even I don't think ghosts can manipulate physical things.
Yeah, they can.
Poltergeist.
Okay.
Well, she did. The ghost did open the.
Yeah, have you
the-
ever
the
seen
drawers
Poltergeist?
Yes,
and
you
the,
made me watch it because it's your favorite movie.
It is.
Did
my
you
favorite
love
movie.
it?
I didn't. I did.
Did we watch it here?
Didn't we do that?
Yeah,
for
we
a
watched it.
podcast.
Well, it was before. It was well before the podcast.
Pre-podcast.
It was one of the first times she came to my house.
True. When
She brought me flowers.
Aww.
Aw.
Aww.
And everyone's over and we put a mattress on the floor and we had a big movie night.
I do love you, Willa Rose.
I think you were there. Charlie was there.
I was not there.
Charlie was there.
I was there. I remember.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've seen the entirety of the movie Poltergeist.
Well, we should watch it because it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I know.
We will.
And I don't even like scary movies that much. And I really love that movie. Anyway.
So we think the mom may have been also experiencing.
Probably had a touch.
The dog
I
wasn't
don't know.
And
dead.
the dog was probably dead, now that I think about it. Because
No.
otherwise it would have been screwed.
No, because the dog interacted with the boy too.
What boy?
With
Which boy?
Which one?
Billy Joel Osment?
Cole.
The one
Well,
who
yeah,
sees
yeah,
it.
all
who
dead
can
things
interact
do.
with ghosts.
So, but why wasn't she seeing other things then? Why was she only seeing a dead dog?
I don't know, Charlie.
She
Just let
barely
me have
saw
this
it.
one.
She barely interacted with it. I like to
Alright.
rewatch it specifically for the dog scenes.
Charlie, look
We'll
it
do
up on
that.
your website. You're so
I-
proud of. Did the dog die? It'll tell you whether the dog was dead the whole time in The Sixth Sense.
Oh yeah, you guys know.
I
You guys all
see
know about
dead
the
dogs.
doggies.
For anyone
It
that
was
does,
a cute puppy.
for
Though.
anyone that doesn't know, there's a website you can go to called doesthedogdie.com if you want to watch a movie before a dog dies.
We did not check in with that website before.
We did
this
not.
movie.
Nope.
Okay,
so
I have a
go ahead.
retention intervention for you all.
Okay,
Mm.
we're ready.
The
Bring it.
ring that Anna was showing the couple, what kind of jewel was it?
Ooh.
It was a diamond.
Jasmine? No, that's not
Blue
a jewel.
Jasmine.
An emerald.
Yeah.
It's a sapphire.
What kind of sapphire?
Blue.
It's the only kind of sapphire.
It was a Burmese sapphire.
Oh. And it was a Burmese puppy. Everyone's dead. Just kidding. No,
The
that's
ring
true.
was dead the whole time.
Okay, and so
Wait, have you guys ever seen The Ring? Pretty sure that girl's dead.
She definitely did.
am I correct in assuming that dead people aren't? He couldn't see them in the church, so that's why he was there so often. It was like a sanctuary.
Maybe.
He was going there because I think he thought it was a sanctuary, but it wasn't necessarily because
Obviously, Bruce Willis went in
maybe
there.
angry spirits couldn't get in
true.
there.
Okay, and so he kind of created his own little church within
Yes, that's why he was stealing the
his Jesus's.
Jesuses and the
And he had
Marys
that
and
little,
the
that little castle that he made inside his house with the red blanket.
Yeah. I
Was
thought
there a
that
significance to the toys he chose to play with? The war toys?
oh,
Or
those
was
are
that just kid stuff?
I
I
think
was
that's
wondering
kid
if there was a
stuff.
significance to the play where he got to be the. He got to
the
pull the sword from the stone.
Yeah, sword in the stone.
Well, he just got to
Yeah.
be
You
the
got to be the hero.
hero. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. It
Well, it
harkens
tied
back
back to
to
the
when,
beginning,
when he describes his
Fake day.
Yeah.
He's like, all the kids are lifting me up. And
I kicked the
I kicked
the grand
kickball.
slam to win the game, and they lifted me on their shoulders.
That monologue, those lines just broke me in half.
That was a great
It
like
was so good.
mother-son interaction.
Yeah, I love the relationship.
The
between-
dynamic, yeah.
between Colette and
Haley Joel Osment.
each Joe.
So, what was
HJO.
everyone's favorite scene?
The goodbye scene with
In the
Cole
stairwell?
in the stairwell.
And then Dr. Malcolm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was just so great. When I just think it's because Cole knew exactly what was going on, and maybe Dr. Malcolm didn't, and Cole was kind of explaining how it was gonna go. This is what we're gonna say. What was his line? It was, maybe we can say we're gonna see each other tomorrow, just for pretend.
Mm-hmm.
That was
It's a
really,
good line.
That was really great for me.
Yeah.
Paulie.
Because I was wondering.
Oh, sorry.
Because I was wondering how they were gonna say goodbye. So that was really great.
Mine, I think, was the funeral scene. Because I feel like that was kind of a bigger reveal even than the
Oh yeah.
dead people thing.
It's shocking.
Yeah,
It's
so
disturbing
shocking.
and
It came out of
upsetting.
nowhere, and it's like, what?
Yeah, this little girl came to him for
This
help.
little girl was recording her own poisoning to death, basically, in the hopes that someone, after she dies, would discover it and
Yeah.
the
Save
mom,
her sister.
the sister.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that
Yeah.
was that most hard hitting.
Ugh.
Like, it just like, whoa, yeah.
Willa.
I would say, I mean, the scene that hits me the hardest is the scene in the car. And partly because I really relate to... Okay, so there's a scene. Yeah. Anyone who hasn't seen it, there's a scene towards the end where they're just sitting in the car and they finally open up and talk. And I don't know, I think it's beautiful. I think I can really relate to taking that moment when you're just sitting next to someone to just like communicate. Actually, Katie and I went on a road trip and just like talked the whole way. Like there's
Yeah.
something about being in a car with
Yeah,
someone that you just
exactly.
like you have nothing else to do but communicate.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting in traffic and I don't know.
There's a certain
it's like-
safety to it, you
yeah,
know?
it's very
just
moving.
you two
It's
and a
intimate. There's no
close-
screens. There's no
yeah.
I don't know.
What does he say? He's like, Mom,
I'm ready.
I'm ready to communicate.
I'm ready to communicate. And then it's just such a moving scene. I definitely teared up this time watching it. So I thought it was really great.
Cool.
I think that's my favorite scene too, for that a lot of those reasons, but also with my own father, you know, with the parent, like just going to strictly a parent, not because you're telling him about a dead person that you can see, but just anything.
No, yeah, anything.
Oh, right.
Anything.
It's such a
Sitting there
great
with like
place
your
to
mom,
talk.
your
Yeah.
mom or dad, and looking at them and be like, "Hey, I need to tell you something, and I've been afraid to tell you." And you're right, like you feel comfortable in that spot. I think with that person.
Yeah.
So I agree. Abe?
Oh, that's definitely one of them. But because we haven't mentioned it, I'm gonna go with the scene where his classmates lock him in the. Is it
Oh,
a dumb?
that's your-
Is it like a dumb waiter or
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
kind of?
Yeah, something like that.
That's
And
your
you
favorite
hear.
part, babe?
Well, I mean, it's one of the moments that
Chilling, yeah.
helps me argue that this is a horror movie.
Yes.
It's scary. You hear the voice of like a dead slave, I guess, because he says something like, "I didn't do that to Master's horse" or whatever. Obviously, been locked in the dumbwaiter to be punished and probably died in
Probably
there.
died in there.
Yeah, obviously died in there. Otherwise, Cole wouldn't have been hearing him.
Horrific.
I hate
And
that
then
part. I hate
and then
that
you
part.
know, you don't know when you see that scene, but you know very soon after that he was actually locked in there with the physical manifestation of that dead slave.
Yes,
you know?
because he's being physically harmed.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. He gets the scar and the
Right.
hole in
Yeah.
his shirt from that altercation. So yeah, that one, and it's a good showcase for Toni Collette to freak out too.
Oh, I just got freaked out from you talking about it again and thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean this.
That's
No, my
intense.
goose stuff.
So intense.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're at 109.
So should we do final
We do
thoughts?
box office?
Let's
Box
talk
office.
about box office and then relatable.
Characters.
Okay.
All right, well, this movie began with a budget of $40 million. I think that's
Ooh,
a bit
doggy.
It's a lot in 1999.
much. Yeah, they had a lot of faith in this
But look at the acting.
unknown director.
But look at they had to get Bruce
He had
Willis.
nothing before this? This is his first movie?
Yeah.
First, notable
Jeez.
movie.
Jeez Louise.
So what do we think it made opening weekend? Let's start over here with Abe.
Oh. Can we the budget one more time?
Budget was $40 million.
Oh damn. I'll say it made 40 million.
Abe saying he made the money back. Charlie.
41.
Oh, we are playing by Price is Right rules. So
I know the game. I got fucked last time.
Charlie.
I definitely remember a lot of hype around this movie, but I'm going to go low. I'm going to do 18 mil.
18.
But it definitely made this money back, obviously, in its
Eventually.
lifetime, but
Mhm.
I feel like
And
horror movies probably
guest
don't
Katie.
get that much.
I'm going to say I made half. I'm going to say 20.
20. All right. Well, congratulations, Katie. You are the closest without going over because opening weekend it made $26 million.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Extra points for the guest.
It went on to make $672 million.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
this is
surprise
one of
me at
those
all.
word
This
of
is a
mouth
huge
like
movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone
word of
was
mouth.
talking about it.
exactly.
I remember.
It's one of
I
those
was
that you
like
had to
10.
go see.
They're
you know?
still talking about
Obviously.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Like
People, still make jokes like I see dead people,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like, "Did I spoil it for you?" Spoilers. And it's like the movie to be.
it is the spoiler. It probably spawned spoiler.
the term spoilers.
Yeah.
Right.
Spoiler generation.
That's
You millennials.
Millennials
and your
are the
spoilers.
Spoiler generation. Yeah.
spoilers.
Sorry, I want you
It's all
to
M.
enjoy
Night
the movie.
Shyamalan's fault.
I would say I still stick to the fact that there is a twist is spoiler enough. So stop
Just
telling
knowing
us
that there's a twist.
Yeah. And be like, well, there's a twist. Not
Yeah.
spoil it. You're like, well, you just told me you just said everything.
I
Now I'm going to
disagree.
be watching it with an eye of looking for a spoiler.
Well,
Anyway.
with his movies, we kind of assume it now.
Anyway, cool.
So,
So who did y'all relate to the most in this film? Polly? There's not a lot of characters.
there's not a lot, and
We got the wife, Bruce Willis, Tony Collette.
I don't see dead people, so can't really identify with Cole. No, there was one character. I think Cole had convinced him to pretend to be his friend, and he's like, "Hey, did you like the armor over the shoulder
Yeah,
there?"
Tommy Tomasino.
Tommy
Tommy
Tomasino.
From ER.
I just liked his knowledge of improv.
He's the one that locked him in
he's like,
nowhere.
Oh, yeah,
He
okay.
was
I don't
bullied.
identify with that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy.
You hate bullies.
I hate bullies, but his appreciation to the craft, I commend him
Acting.
on. Acting.
I'm an actor.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, Haley Joel Osment, like, he was the lead, but like, I kind of felt his pain. I was,
There's really only 3 characters in this
Yeah.
movie.
yeah,
There's a few more than that, but not.
No, I
Thanks
mean,
for going to me first.
Characters that you could really
yeah.
get to know.
There's the stuttering Stanley, if anyone had a st-
Oh boy,
Oh.
stutter.
We got Misha Barton, throw up queen. Tommy Tomasino, the friend.
Can we all just agree
got
that Tommy Tomasino
Vincent
sucked
Gray.
big time?
What a jerk. Sucked big time. yes,
Tommy
I agree.
Tomasino
Did
what
suck
sucked
big time. Yeah.
Big time. That sounds like something that Donald Trump would say now.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time. Tomasino. He
Tommy
sucked.
Tomasino and Nancy Pelosi suck big time.
Yikes.
Loop
Katie?
it.
I'm gonna have to go with Cole on this one. I mean, we're supposed to relate to him, but I was raised by
Yeah.
a single mom who just kind of depended on all of us to kind of handle things ourselves. And when she said, "I'm just so tired," that scene where she was just like, "I'm tired. I'm so tired. Can you just help me?" That reminded me a lot of just our mom being like, "I'm just doing this on my own, and I could really appreciate it if you guys would just help me along." So that was kind of
Yeah, she did a great job portraying that single mom who's got enough on her plate and then
But
has-
really trying.
Yeah,
trying her
really trying.
hardest. Yeah, she wasn't,
It's just frustrated to shit. Yeah.
yeah.
I would
Lola?
say I also related to Cole. I wrote down 2 quotes that I really related to that he said. One was, shit.
I don't remember
He
that.
did say that.
Here,
No, he
he
said
probably
S
did.
word. Sorry.
Yep,
said-
S word.
okay,
you
here
said the
it is.
S word.
He said, "You're nice, but you can't help me."
Yep, I wrote that down.
I really like that line because I'm fucking sick of nice people. I like real people. And I like that line. And then I really liked the description he made of feeling scared of dead people. He said, falling but standing still. Or something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I frequently, when I can't fall asleep, I get this weird feeling where I'm like rushing forward, but I'm just laying there and I can't move. So
Sleep paralysis.
it's cool.
It's cool. I see dead people.
I see dead people. It's fine.
cool, guys.
You might see space aliens and dead people.
Mostly I don't see dead people, but I often do get weird feelings when I'm trying to fall asleep. So I related to him in a lot of ways, and he was just scared, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, just trying to do
Bless
it.
his heart. Chuckles.
I think I relate to Dr. Malcolm's wife the most, honestly.
Quick pause. I don't think his name is Mr. Malcolm. I believe his
No, it's
name is
Malcolm.
Malcolm something. Malcolm.
It
I
is.
wrote it down. It's Malcolm.
That's fine. We can call him Dr. Malcolm.
Malcolm
I keep
Crowe.
thinking of Jeff
I wrote down
Goldblum.
Malcolm
It is
Crowe.
Crowe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Crowe.
it's like Cameron Crowe.
Dr.
or,
Crowe.
Russell
I just
Crowe.
want to make that clear to anyone listening. We don't think his name is Mr. Malcolm.
Yeah.
Because
We did,
we
obviously.
all
Respect,
know
doctor.
Dr. Malcolm.
We've
Nobody
all-
thinks
from
he's Mr.
Jurassic
anything.
Park.
In
Dr.
fact,
Ian.
I was
Podcast
pretty sure
coming
in the
soon,
first
hopefully.
scene she called him Harold, but obviously I wrote it down wrong.
I also don't. I have no idea what Toni Collette's character name is.
I don't know either. I
don't really care
I
to
kept
know.
trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Anna is the wife.
Lynn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Her name was
Anna.
Lynn.
Charlie, go ahead.
Do they ever
sorry,
say
Chris.
that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
I
Well,
wrote
anyways,
Cole's mom,
Lynn.
Toni Cole.
Mrs. Crowe.
That's who you relate to?
Yeah. Because I feel like I would have the same grieving process as her. Actually, I know I do. I like to recreate things that have happened in the past to get past things that are happening in the present. So I kind of related to her kind of doing things that were routine or familiar to make her feel better about what was going on until she could finally let go. And I think that's, I don't know if it's healthy, but I think that's something that I have done in the past in a grieving process. So I think that's why I related to her the most.
All right. Well, that leaves Malcolm for me. I'll relate to
Dr.
him the most.
Malcolm.
Dr.
Malcolm Crowe.
Malcolm
Shit,
Crowe.
guys.
That's a ridiculous
Abe
name.
is
Malcolm
dead.
Crowe.
We have the same hairline, so I really appreciate it. This is like the
In
end
your
of.
wedding videos.
I look like a
You
creepy
had
Muppet.
kiss.
Oh, the wedding kiss.
The wedding kiss. Yeah.
No good kisses in this movie.
No good kisses.
No good kisses.
I don't know. I think this is the end of an era for Bruce Willis having hair, which I appreciate it in this movie that he's just like going for it, even though he doesn't have the hairline.
Right? I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is he... I almost thought...
I think it's fake.
Exactly.
But they did it to make it look like it was real. Like,
To give him a fake
but it was the
receding
last time
hairline.
that would work.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to give you a fake receding hair.
Yeah.
I'm looking into my 40s. You know,
Yeah,
We're not that close to that, Abe.
you're not.
Speak for yourself.
I'd like to check in with
Charlie.
our peanut gallery. Are you guys dying to say anything about final thoughts about the film? We'd like
Peanut
to give you the
gallery.
opportunity since you're here.
Yeah.
We'll just have to give you the mic. So, if you no, Sam.
I'm trying to think. I had a lot of thoughts when you guys were talking about. Yeah, I know.
Well, who did you relate to the most? Can you answer that?
Well, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe not about relating to a character, but when Malcolm was, I think it was Cole who was like, "Why are you sad?" And Malcolm was just like, "Well," and then he just like spills his guts to this kid. Mm-hmm. And it's after that he's like, "Okay, I want to tell you this secret," And then I don't know. You just see these vulnerability. Whether that was an okay thing to do for a child psycho, obviously there are things.
I know.
There are other things like that.
So many moments
but-
where adults do things that are way overly appropriate for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
adults or ghosts?
All the adults are ghosts.
Adult ghosts.
All the adults and all the ghosts and all the adult ghosts.
But I think if you can simplify it out like that just vulnerability then eventually leads to him opening up to his mother. He's like, now I'm ready to communicate, and it and that was a process.
It's a good point. Yeah, we didn't touch on that, but yeah, Bruce Willis or what's his name?
Good old
Malcolm.
Dr.
Malcolm was the the conduit that connected Cole with his mom.
Well, I think that Cole was there for Dr. Malcolm.
Yeah, it became...
Ghosts need him to finish their business.
Yeah, now Cole's got to be the psychiatrist. Be like, okay.
I've got to do
what's
everything
gonna
around
happen
here.
to
What?
Cole in the future? Good
He's-
God, this poor kid.
He's going to be like Ghostbusters, but just a psychiatrist.
This poor kid.
I think the only other thing I was going to mention too is the scene where he is first meeting Cole, and he does that mind game with him, and I just was struck at like just the visual that had to take. You know, like he's literally stepping forward and stepping back, and how I think in film you have to do stuff like that to make it more. I don't resonate with people who are just watching it, and getting in the head of the character and like physically moving forward and moving back like to what you're saying and how you're responding. So
Yeah, it did create like
Yeah, well said.
a good event where you're like, oh, you're cheering, you want him to step forward, and then he starts asking questions and taking steps
Yeah,
back.
even when he steps back, they then communicate even more.
Yeah.
Really,
When
it's
you-
like
when you-
he talks, he steps forward. He talks, he steps forward. But it's when he steps back that he actually answers him
Yeah,
and
exactly.
corrects
You
him,
learn more.
which is interesting.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Amanda, did you have anything you wanted to? No.
Do you guys, or Katie especially, do you think this movie holds up
Thanks, Sam.
20 years later?
I do.
Okay.
I think so too.
I do.
Yeah,
I do too. I think this is very enjoyable.
It's 20 years old.
20 years, 1999. It's
Yeah.
20 years old this summer.
Oh God, I'm almost 30.
Almost 30, Katie.
You're a baby.
Jesus, Katie.
Oh, excuse me while I roll my eyes out of my skull.
Out of his skull, which is
And then
80 years
die.
old. You know what? Today I was drinking in my water bottle, and I go, "Oh, I gotta keep hydrated today. It's gonna be a long day." To a coworker, and he goes, "Hydrate or dihydrate? That's what the kids say." And I was like, "What? What kids? Who kids say this?"
Kids know better
says
than
that?
to
But
make really
this is
bad
a
puns.
man
that.
who's has a kid in high school, and he was like, "Yeah, my daughter and all her friends in band camp always say hydrate or dihydrate, and they think it's very funny." And
They
I
got
was
tattoos of it. Yeah.
And then
Oh,
they
man.
stick a flute in there.
That's
Yeah,
another podcast.
We had that conversation as well. We were like, "Oh yeah, band camp." Yeah, it was a whole thing.
But no, I was excited to watch this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
I was excited to finally
And-
see it.
And
I loved it.
you liked it?
I really did.
Yay!
So you watched it again?
I don't know. I'm a little bit of a baby, and I don't love
Scaries?
I don't love ghost narratives.
Yeah. Do they sit with you too much?
I think when you start thinking about that stuff too much, you
Could freak
open.
you out?
Well, I think you
Yep.
open it up
Oh.
in your life, and we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Whoa.
Now ghosts are gonna come into
I
your
don't-
brain.
I believe in ghosts. I'll just put that out there. I might be one of the few in the room, but
I think you've mentioned that.
of course I have. I hear a doggy.
That's a ghost.
That's a ghost. That's ghost.
All
You
right.
can hear that ghost.
I have a cat because I feel like it keeps the ghosts away.
Well,
That was a joke.
let us
never
know
know.
if you believe in ghosts.
What's your favorite Shyamalan movie?
I just watched Split.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was
I
that?
liked
It's
it.
not the most recent one. The most recent one's Glass, but I watched Split not too long ago, and honestly, that is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Hereditary was not him.
No.
No.
No. But Toni Collette was
Right.
in Hereditary, and she was a fucking gem in that
I think
movie.
that's Ari Aster.
I would say that. Oh my god, she was so good in that. That's a very scary movie. That movie does not compare to Sixth Sense as far as scary.
No, it's way.
Hereditary is
More
fucking
grim.
scary.
Yeah, I won't be seeing
Don't-
that.
Guys,
Watch Hereditary,
I walked
it's
in on the
scary.
very end of that movie.
Ugh.
Do I need to watch the whole thing?
Yes.
I walked in on the end. I saw how it ended.
Oh no, but the whole lead up to that.
Oh my
is
god,
what's
it's so
really
scary.
great.
Paul. It's so good. We should watch it tonight after this.
I've seen the whole thing twice.
All
I
right,
watch it
I'll
both
trust
times,
you
like
guys.
through my fingers. It's so freaky.
So
What was
what's
the question?
Favorite
Favorite
M. Night
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan
we'll
movie.
do this instead of what we've been watching.
Okay.
No, that's
Sure.
a good idea.
Okay.
Like I said Split. I thought that was great. I love James McAvoy. he did, like, that's a hard thing to do. A lot of these M. Night Shyamalan movies require the actors to pull off things that are quite hard. And I felt like Split did it. Like,
Act a certain way without revealing too much.
exactly.
And McAvoy's amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I have yet to see Glass, but I loved Unbreakable is probably my second favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie, and they're connected. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I haven't heard great things about Glass, but I don't know. It seems like a cool end to that trilogy.
What gives Unbreakable the edge over this for you, over The Sixth Sense? Sam Jackson.
Obviously, Sam Jackson. No,
I like it's too bad that this movie can't exist in the same universe as Unbreakable because of the tie over with.
Cole could be a superhero too.
Yeah, but we've got.
But then,
yeah, what do you do with?
Who's also dead, so maybe he finds peace in the afterlife and never comes back. But he just happens to look exactly like Bruce Willis's character.
Just Bruce Willis's twin. We can just say that.
Yeah,
it's his twin brother
with a bald head.
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
Doppelganger.
No, Unbreakable. I like just the take. The comic book take on it, like how it didn't stick to normal, like it ended up being a comic book movie without buying into the same comic book tropes. Like it, for most of the movie, you think this is a real movie, and then you realize, oh, I've been watching a comic book movie this whole time, basically.
So you kind of like the reveal of the mastermind plot.
Yeah. And Bruce Willis, played it cool as just this guy who's like,
I remember thinking it was kind of like a Bond movie when he revealed the plot and stuff at the end. Like I didn't even
because he had played the whole thing out so well.
But I didn't even go right to this is like something out of a comic book, even though they obviously frame it that way.
Yeah.
But movie wise, like there wasn't anything to compare it to, because even like Lex Luthor wasn't a genius so much in the '70s Superman movies. He was just rich. And a dick.
And it seemed like Mr. Glass wanted to be a comic book villain.
Yeah. He was
which
like
was interesting.
All embracing it.
Yeah, which is an interesting take on that whole
Absolutely.
thing. It was almost meta because it was like this guy's he's obsessed with comic books, and now instead of wanting to be the hero, which we always think, people want to be the hero, he wants to be the villain. We didn't think about that.
No, I remember seeing that movie in the theater, and it was unlike. I mean, it was later, obviously, than Sixth Sense, and it did have that effect on me that I think Sixth Sense had on other people of like, whoa, that surprised me.
Yeah.
I remember leaving the theater like, oh, fuck.
It got me too. I saw it in theaters
was like
too,
so shocked that part where you realize that he's been planning all of those fucking disasters. Like, not only you're just so disturbed, it's like. What? That's awful. Don't do that. Don't kill people, weirdo. Anyway, I remember thinking that that movie really shocked me.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, that's how people felt with Sixth Sense. Which I didn't experience, but
me either.
I loved Unbreakable.
I don't think I gave my origin story of watching Sixth Sense, so I'll do it now.
Yeah.
I was in college when it came out. And I remember being very excited, just hearing things about it. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to go watch this. And I was at work, and I'm just sitting there doing my job. Two dudes just walk in, talking about it loudly. And they're like, dude, I can't believe it, dude. That was crazy. He was dead the whole time. And they both stop.
Oh, yeah.
And look over at me. And one goes... You've seen it already, right? And I just shake my head, no. And they're just like, oh, man, I'm sorry. You should still see it, though. It's really good. So I knew going into it, the big
I think
twist.
it was basically spoiled for everybody right away.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it that opening weekend, you knew it was going to happen.
I wonder, what the difference would be. But it was I still think it's a great movie.
What movies are even comparable to that kind of twist? Besides this.
Hitchcock movies, probably.
What about now though?
Oh, nothing. There's some.
What's that movie with the heist?
Seven's got a great twist at the end.
Oh yeah. Seven.
It's way more morbid and
I feel like Hereditary had a
Yeah, that's
reveal.
kind of a twist. It's a reveal, yeah.
Babe, what's that movie with the heist where they
Inside Man.
Inside
Well,
Man?
that's a good
I
one.
love
That's a
that.
good
That is a
twist.
good twist.
good twist.
Spike
Where
Lee.
everyone comes out and no one. You haven't seen that?
You
Polly?
don't-
No.
You
I was gonna say you look like you didn't
Oh,
approve, like you didn't like
Paul's
it.
Sorry.
getting in the hot seat.
Spoiler.
You know what? That's been
no,
on
I
my,
think we just spoiled it. It has a good twist, Paul.
It's been on my Netflix queue before. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I remember it being like.
We got to get
I
you
didn't
in
like
It
it
was
the first
recommended,
time I
and I'm
saw it, but I like it now.
Well, we don't have to give it away.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
not talk about it then. Unpopular opinion. The Village is my favorite Shyamalan movie.
I like The Village too.
I like.
I will tell you why. It's because
Why do people not like it?
because they don't like the twist. The twist really ruined
we
it
don't
for
have
a
enough
lot
time.
of people.
Sorry.
We don't have enough
We don't
time.
have time for
The
me to answer
twist
that question.
is that these
Willa.
people live.
That I
Yeah, I
think.
guess we can talk about
You
it.
can spoil it. It's been out for fucking ever.
I think the village
Yeah.
had a couple plot holes. I don't remember them.
There are some
right
plot
now.
holes,
Several.
but
There's some plot holes in all of them.
what I really
Shyamalan,
love
I
about
guess.
that movie is the interaction between the characters, between the acting,
Oof.
between
Adrian Brody's character.
You like that weird like way they talk to each other?
well, yeah, they were trying to talk old English-ish, like old Pennsylvanian. 'cause they
Polly,
were trying to
by
make
the
it-
way, is just like sucking on his vape pen and shaking his head. He's like so
He's a-
disapproving.
such a
So
naysayer.
condescending.
He's
Too
got
old
his
for
mouth
this shit.
fedora, but he's so condescending.
It's a really good love story. That's what I like about it.
I think it's a. I mean, I remember. I don't know,
Look at
I
his
like it.
face.
He's insulted.
They send the blind woman out to go get the medicine because she won't be able
So
to tell the
he's-
And
truth.
they just happened to have the perfect combination of medicine to save whatever it was.
Oh, it's probably just antibiotics. Those...
Bless you.
Speaking of antibiotics, Abe,
Oh, Abe's
get back
spreading
on those
his disease.
antibiotics.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but M. Night Shyamalan also worked on the screenplay for She's All That.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's my favorite M. Night Shyamalan
Freddie Prinze
movie.
Jr.
Love that movie. It's really bad. I mean, I actually
That was a great twist when
I
you find
actually-
out that the girl
main
with
girl was
glasses
pretty?
is
Is
actually
actually
hot.
hot.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
was crazy. You're like, what? That girl was wearing glasses. There's no way she's attractive.
You know, I really
Yeah.
liked
Good.
Split. I really liked
I was
Unbreakable.
wrong.
I like The Sixth Sense. I personally like The Village and Signs. I hated The Happening. Never saw Lady in the Water, but I will say I've seen She's All That like a dozen times. And it's bad, but hey, I'm excited to know that M. Night is on the screenplay. So
You guys
That's
talking
my-
about The Happening with Mark Wahlberg?
where the plants turn
Wait,
into
what?
something,
What?
wind, and then
What?
they kill people.
Is the
It makes
plants?
no
What-
sense.
what's going on? What? I don't get it.
I remember leaving.
Are you guys
actually,
are you guys
grass?
talking about the first half of Bird Box?
I haven't seen that. I
I
haven't
remember
seen
seeing
that.
The Happening with my boyfriend at the time, and we were excited because we loved M. Night Shyamalan movies. We were like, "Cool, it's gonna be a cool
God.
twist. It's gonna be something,"
Ugh.
and we left just like, "What? That was awful. It was just terrible." And then we talked about it for a month, and then everyone else agreed, and that was my first time. I was like, "I'm a movie critic." I know things. I was like, I can have an opinion. I liked all those other ones, but that one was not good. I decided.
Hey, what about
And here we are.
Here we are, 100 years.
Did somebody
later.
pick this movie? Did you, Katie?
What? Which?
Did you pick this
No,
Sixth Sense?
Yeah, I picked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a favorite.
I'm gonna pick
Oh
Signs.
no! Did I pick? I picked it to watch tonight.
Okay, well,
No,
nobody
what's your
picked it as their
favorite?
favorite?
No.
Yeah.
I'll pick it as my favorite.
That's a good answer.
It's between that and Signs for me, and that's honest.
Signs is scary as shit. Some
I-
of that,
I,
some of that is scary as
I
hell,
really-
I'm gonna
man.
save it for when we do that.
I really want to
one.
watch that movie.
Yeah, I think they're similarly, well constructed and kind of slowly plotted.
And it's not as reliant on the twist as just the story overall. I mean, there is a twist, and that's the part that people are hung up about, as far as Signs go. And we already talked about this last week, so
Yeah,
I don't wanna
let's-
get into it too much. But
It's
a great
classic.
movie
It's
still.
a classic
It
science
still
fiction.
has
There are a lot of
construction.
Great storytelling elements.
Yeah,
that this
I
movie
agree.
had.
I totally agree. I like
And
the way
great
they handle a lot of things.
Conversations and great.
But it's like a lot of great build up to what I think is a
dumb.
Save it
yeah. I know.
for
I'm saving it.
the
Did,
podcast.
We're on
We
the
like
podcast.
This is the podcast.
The science one.
Katie,
did anybody watch The Visit?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's a good movie.
I did not.
It was I know
It's creepy
that
as
like
fuck.
wait, did
M.
I
Night
see it?
Shyamalan is about twists. I never saw it. Like I was so surprised.
I don't want to know.
Don't spoil
Okay.
it.
Don't-
Yeah.
no.
I
So
haven't
sorry,
seen it.
everybody.
No
Just watch it.
spoilers.
Please watch it.
It's worth
Please watch it.
watching.
Yes.
Okay.
I
It
think-
is.
Watch
It's
it.
less It's less like supernatural. It doesn't. There's no like suspended disbelief. It's completely realistic.
I remember seeing that.
It is.
It's a horror movie.
Sorry, I just looked it
Definitely
up.
a
I
horror.
remember. It's real fucked.
It's real fucked.
I remember being pretty freaked out. Actually,
Put that on the DVD cover.
I remember looking at Abe like, ah!
It's
Yeah.
real fucked.
No! Run away! Everybody run!
I'm okay with that. I don't like ghosts, but like that is like that could happen.
Kind of. There's some weird shit in that.
Yeah, I
movie,
guess, but
weird
Yeah.
supernatural
It's-
weirdness. Anyway, watch it anyway, just cause why not?
please watch it.
There's been quite a few Shyamalans that I've missed, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't seen a bunch.
There was the one, I think it was called Devil, where it was about people trapped in an elevator.
Yikes.
I think I saw that one. I didn't remember much about it.
Yeah.
dumb
Nothing
Later?
to write about.
Was it about-
People trapped
No,
in
an
a dumbwaiter
actual-
with
an
a
actual elevator.
slave something. Cool. Well, we're going on a while for this one, so maybe we should.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Do we want to talk about things we've been watching? Or
Probably can skip it because we
Skip
did
that.
Shyamalan.
Unless Katie's been
I
watching
honestly
something
haven't really
exceptional.
watched anything since the last time we recorded.
I have a lot to say about it. Yeah, what about it?
Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Thank
It
you
was a
for
lot of
coming
fun.
back.
That was-
This is
that was a
technically
great
your
time.
third.
This is technically my fourth. One of them got jarbled.
Oh, that's right.
Katie, where can you find pop culture intervention on the internet?
Where
Yeah,
can
we're
I
putting you to
find
work.
it?
Yeah,
Where
we're putting
can
you to work.
and all the other people.
You can find us on Instagram at PCI Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at PCI Podcast.
Yes.
Correct.
You can find us on Facebook at hold on, everybody. PCI Podcast.
Wow. She
Something
got
like
it.
that. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop culture. That might be spelled out.
What if you want to email us?
PCIpodcast@gmail.com.
Oh my god.
Do it. I highly recommend it. I'm your number one fan.
Oh, I like this. We have a competition now.
challenge.
Better send us an email.
That's
I will.
right.
I will.
We got a couple other competitors.
Well, thank you, Katie, so much. This was great. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, if you want to follow PCI Podcast, just do what Katie said. And we love you. And
Thanks for
keep it
listening.
real, hombres.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.